life, you know. And the last point about that is it's gonna be very controversial.
Okay.
I heard this somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It's
Watch your mouth.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how it's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. But
I'm nervous for you.
Okay, I saw it like this. Men want peace. Everybody want peace.
Right.
But peace is very important for men.
Right.
You know. And a lot of times, if a man not getting peace at home, he tend to find it in the arms of another woman.
Dun dun dun.
You know, so I'm not condoning. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right. It usually happens like that because sometimes you'll see a man may date, let's say, a girl from McDonald's. I'm just using McDonald's as a placeholder. A girl from McDonald's over a woman that got 2 or 3 degrees who's very successful.
Right.
In that, it's about peace. Not necessarily about what she has. It's about what she gives him. Yeah. How she makes him feel. Yeah. Men all about how they make you feel. You know, and that's, I think a lot of women miss that about men. How do you treat them? How do you make them feel? How do you support them? Because at the end of the day, that's what we look at. We view, okay, if I get married, will she respect me? How will my family be? You know, can I diss my kids in front of her? Will she undermine me in front of my children? Because you don't want to have to, as a man, you don't have to raise up and go over her in front of the kids. Now you're looking abusive. Right. Now you're looking like, why daddy yelling at mama? Right. You know, you don't want to do that. You want to be respected and things like that. But it also goes to what you were saying. Once you have these things in place, she will automatically come. You know, but it's a lot. But I think there's a very strong point about a lot of people miss that about men, about the peace thing. Because women be like, we want peace too. Yeah, we all want peace. Because I know some men who bring them some drama. You know what I'm saying? I know it, but you know, I don't want that. I don't want that piece to be overlooked because a lot of women, I see a lot of conversation in women talk about just men in general. Like I say on the channel, I just try to give a male perspective. Yeah. That's just what we thinking. I don't got all the answers. I don't know everything, so I give things that I've seen. And I talk about. I got a lot of friends, a lot of married friends, and they be listening to me with game. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, what you think about that?
So I want to go back to one of the first things you said is that some men feel like, who do I talk to and who do I turn to?
Ooh, yes.
So this is one of the many reasons, right? Sex is women's superpower is because we are supposed to approve of men. We are the gatekeepers of the future. So look in the camera.
That's real.
Women are the gatekeepers of the future, and we have to approve of men, right? Not to say you can't do this, but to say, in order for you to move forward, for your bloodline and your legacy to move forward, this is what we need, right? The earth needs to be safe. Our children need to be safe.
Talk about it.
Our communities need to be safe, right? We need running water for this part of the world, right? We are, in a very real way, like bouncers at the club. Like, I need to see the ID. I need to see, because once you get in the club, you in the club, right? Like, we can put you out, but you've been there, you got the sauce, you took the pictures, you got what you needed. So that is why it's really important for us to be under control, because I believe that women are just huge inspirations for men. But we have to, first of all, we have to control that first. So who are we inspiring? Who are we letting into our energy fields? That's very important. All men don't deserve to be in the energy fields of little boys don't deserve to be in the energy fields of women, right? Yeah. Little boys and little girls, go play, go get your, what is it? Go get your city girl, city boy points.
City boys up, man.
Right? My 3,000.
3,000.
My 3,000 out.
Yeah, baby. Playoffs, baby.
I don't participate, okay? But that is so childish. Like, it's funny, but it's childish, right? So let the city boys and the city girls play together. Yeah, let the city boys and the city boys and the city girls play on the playground, and the men and the women will build community.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Right? Like, that's ridiculous. Honestly, it blows my mind that these are the people are looking up to. Like, it terrifies me at night. It really does.
It's funny, man. It's
but
right,
we have to approve of men, and it is not so we can bash him. It is not so we can say you're not good enough, but these are the requirements. You need to meet them. And almost every species, yes, there are different species, okay? Look, but it's billions of them. And the ones that we have studied so far, most of them, the woman approves of the male before he can mate with them.
That's real.
Right? So the lion has to have some type of territory. Mm-hmm. Has to. Like, that's not a maybe. It's a has to. Mm-hmm. Right? And then the bird, right? The bird has to have some type of nest. And then come look at my nest. Come look at this nest. Look what I did for you, girl. Like, right? And that is not, and if he makes a bad nest, he'll just make another nest and then maybe he'll make next year. But it's like, in order to continue your genes, it needs to be like the best possible, right? So that's why we have to be like you can't, no, sir. Like you have to do better. And so I said that to say, once we approve of the right man, then he'll stay with his family. Mm-hmm. And then we don't have this problem of men don't know where to go, right? Because there'll be a granddaddy sitting outside of a garage waiting for you to pull up, right? Already been through what you've been through, just waiting for you to ask for help. Yeah. Or already giving you that wisdom, or a dad who you can call, or a coach who you can call, or whoever, right? The businessman you know in your community who you can call, to where it doesn't feel like I got to do this on my own. Like I got to invent the wheel.
Man, that's
not the hearing.
What's the podcast? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because we fell off. Oh my God.
I was like, thank God it's not a week today.
You know what I'm saying? That's funny, man. Things happen. But yeah, I think that's a great point of approving. I like the way you put it. And that's the way you put it, that's very healing and healthy. Right? For a man to hear that, I can get with that. Right. It's very different from, you need to do this, you need to get that. You can't hear that. You can't feel that, because now that's going to create an argumentative energy from me. Mm-hmm. But if you say, hey, brother, this is what needs to happen. Right. You got to approve. You got to get here. Most men can accept that, because we know that anyway. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Men are so smart. I just hate when people treat men like dumb little babies. Like they don't know what, like, oh, he don't know. He just trying to get it together. It's like, no, he just is choosing not to. Like, he knows he's supposed.
Yeah, and it's important that men. Cause I talk to men all the time, especially young guys, and it's important that we, iron sharpens iron. Right. That we talk, kind of figuratively speaking, rite of passage, go in the jungle, fight some stuff, you know what I'm saying, kill some bears, I'm figuratively speaking, but right. Just rite of passage to manhood. That's important, because we missing that a lot. I talk to, I do a lot of counseling and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Young brother called me one day, and I think he was 21 or 22, and he was talking about how, he had all these sex with women, mm-hmm. and he was just like dogging women out, but he felt bad about it. He's like, man, I want to change. I don't know how to change. It's what I've been doing. It's what has been modeled to me. But deep down inside, I know it's wrong, and I'm trying to stop. But I'm hurting women. I'm hurting myself, and I'm just destroying stuff. And he genuinely didn't know how to stop, And I was just telling him, just one thing at a time. The first step is talking to somebody. He was talking to me. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's the first step. Talking to, because I was an older guy. Just talking to somebody to try to help get them things out of his system, out of his mind, first of all, to verbalize it. Because he felt like he couldn't talk to nobody. All he could do was just keep doing what he was doing. Mm-hmm. Seeing the videos of what a man supposed to be, you got to have all these women, you got to have this, you got to have that. And that was feeding into him, mm-hmm. But eventually, he came to a resolution with himself. He kind of stopped doing some of those things. He started to write out plans that he wanted to see for himself, places he wanted to go, reason why this behavior is bad and stuff like that. Because he was feeding into that primal nature. And like I said early on, most young boys, we have all this energy, and you can take any child, boy or girl, and they don't have guidance. They'll do anything what they think is right. Mm-hmm. That's why you have to train them to try in the way you should go. Mm-hmm. Come on, somebody, amen. Train them to try in the way you should go. He won't depart from you. When I was a child, I thought as a child, I spoke as a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things. And he was trying to put away childish things, but he didn't have nobody to help him. Right. So we do have a responsibility as men to reach back and help each other, because it's very important. There's so many young guys out there that need it, because I talk to them all the time.
Yeah.
They willing and ready. They really are. Most of them. Sometimes you can't say everybody, but you know, I'm okay with that. But it's a lot of them. They got raw talent, raw energy, raw feelings. Literally nobody has said, "Hey, don't do that, man. Do this." And a lot of times that's all it takes.
That's all it takes. Yeah. That's all it takes. But that's from like a man perspective, and so I want to go back to a more of a woman perspective. Is I heard somebody say there's a difference between power and force, and it kind of seems like that's what Queen of Food was talking about. Like the feminine is power and the masculine is force.
Yeah.
So if you Black Panther 2, when those little things came out the water and they were like, oh yeah, right, and everybody just started dropping off the boat. They did nothing, right? They just opened their mouth. That was it. That's power. Force is, this is Sparta, right? Gather all the troops, get the horses down. And the chariots. We fighting to the death. When it's just like that's it. That's the difference between power and force. And so I'm like, oh, warning. There's a difference between, you know what, you don't have a job. You just need to get a job. I'm tired of here looking at you, and you in my house and you eat my food. And first of all, don't let a little boy stay in your house, okay? But let's just say we in dysfunction. And I'm sick of you being in my house, and I'm sick of you eating all my food, and you and your friends ain't got no job, and I'm sick of you. I'm saying some cuss words, all this kind of stuff. It's a difference between that and, wow, I remember when you was writing that business. Did you do that yet? Oh, I just love when you have your events. I was telling somebody the other day about you, and they were saying, yeah, you should bring him through. And I was like, yeah, my man's an entrepreneur. You know, he's starting to do really big things. So I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm inspiring you, right? I may put a Black Enterprise magazine in your bag. I may tell you or just send you a YouTube video, right? Or I may say, oh my gosh, there's this conference. I was at the Cobb Galleria, and there's this conference, and I was like, oh my God, my man could run that conference. They did that so bad. What?
Yo, that's real.
You want me to, you said, what? Huh? I'm to call the Cobb. Get the Cobb on the phone.
Point of reference before I forget it. That's powerful. And something you said earlier about how women can inspire men. I say this all the time. A woman can inspire a man to run the world. This is so true. I'm telling you, you can take, I get this example all the time. You can take a guy who just say he's a sex symbol, or somebody who real power everybody like. Let's say, what's Sierra's husband name?
Russell.
Let's say Russell Wilson. You know, a lot of women give him a lot of praise. If every woman in the world give Russell Wilson praise, and Sierra says, you know what, you can't do it. I don't believe in you. That will crush him, because that's the woman he loves. Yeah. This is how real it is to him. This is how powerful a woman's words is to a man, especially the woman that he loves. You know, because Sierra is the apple of his eye. If she be like, you know what, you can't do it. You will never be what you was or what you were. You know, and all the other ones could be saying, you this and that. He'll have low self-esteem. On the flip side, you know, if every woman is what I said, if everyone give him praise,
right? Every woman give him praise, but Sierra doesn't.
Yeah, and so if she does give him praise, and every woman downs him, it's still powerful because every woman in the world is like, "Oh, Russell, you trash, you this, you that. How can you leave?" Da 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 da. And she be like, "Baby, I'm behind you. Right? I got you. We're gonna do this. I believe in you. It does not matter what they say. And this is how important, you know, a woman's word is to a man." I'm telling you, it's so important. Especially if that man sees you as the woman he loves, you can really make or break him. Right. Like the man will build a house literally as best he can for the woman he loves.
My great uncle just passed away this past August or September. He was 102. And we were after the funeral, we all gathered at the house he built by his bare hand. No, he built another house. He built both houses, but the first one he built his bare hands for his wife. Like just, man. And this is before power tools. My man was 100, okay? So this man is hammering. I don't even know where they got
nail. Why? Get out of the way.
Okay. for his wife. And they said that when she passed before him, he couldn't stay there. Because that was like his homage to his wife. Yeah. The Taj Mahal is an homage to a woman. So she inspired him so much that we go see. She then gone. I think that lady been gone for like 300, 400 years, the woman who inspired the Taj Mahal. But her husband built that for her. He was like, oh my God. Yeah. Come here. Where the builders at? It was like, I need to make this for you. I need to show you how much you inspire me. We don't have to. So I don't believe in putting men down, first of all, because it's dangerous, right? Like if you do that, the consequences can be dangerous, and not you personally, but like to his ego, to his self-esteem, and then the choices that he makes after that to compensate for that. We get a lot of violence, gangs, stuff like that. You know what I mean? There's a very unhealthy way that can swing. So I try not to ever put a man down. I'll say no, thank you. But I try very hard, right? And I'll be very clear about it. But I try not to put him down and tell him he can't. Like even men who approach me who I don't like, I'll say, there was this guy. He was probably like 23, and I don't really know. Not really my cup of tea. Just because I deal with a different caliber of men, so just the way he approached me, I was like, baby. As in like little B. As in like crawling on the floor. Like, baby, I was like, baby. Like I was like, oh honey, like, no. But I told him, I said, I really appreciate, that you had the courage to come up to me. And he had like just graduated college. You feeling me like that? Right? So he baby, hold on. He was like, you can come sleep in my twin bed. I'm like, okay. But I said, I really appreciate you for coming. I said, for coming up to me. And I was like, Atlanta is a great city, and I think you'll do really well.